Whenever you're ready, Gary.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm glad to be here today. I have a very serious question to ask all of you. Are you someone who lives for the destination, or do you strive for the... I gotta start over. Okay. I'm ready. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be here. I have a very serious question to ask you. Are you the type of person that lives for the adventure, or do you strive for the destination? Well, I'm here to tell you that I live for the adventure. But in this case, I'm not talking about an adventure that requires you to drive, say, 100 miles to the closest national park, or fly to distant countries such as Liberia or Portugal. In fact, my journey, all you have to do is walk from your kitchen to the grill in your backyard. If you are truly someone who lives for the adventure in life and the taste of barbecue food, then you should pick up the art of grilling with charcoal, which over half of the class already does so. I'll never forget the first time I tried grilling with charcoal, because the look on my landlord's face as he pulled his truck into the driveway and came running towards the backyard in a mad dash was priceless. He really thought his house was on fire. As I stood there looking at what I just did and realizing that he was in panic, he really thought his house was on fire. I couldn't get the fire started, so I poured on more lighter fluid, which created an enormous ball of fire. He jumped back as I stood there looking at what I had just done. And from that point on, I was hooked to grilling with charcoal. Grilling on a charcoal grill is the best way I have found to enjoy barbecue food. There are some things you need to know, which are the type of equipment, the two types of fires, and what can be grilled. Before we set out on our adventure today, let's first discuss the proper equipment that we'll need to be successful. Unlike gas grills, charcoal grills require you to choose your type of fuel, which range from lump charcoal to briquettes, and finally, all-natural hardwood briquettes. The website, firepitandgrillingguru.com, states that lump charcoal is pure hardwood charcoal that has been charred. It comes in many forms and from different species of hardwood, such as oak and hickory. It burns hot and fast and doesn't last as long as briquettes. Briquettes, on the other hand, are made from small pieces of wood and other organic material. They're pressed to form briquettes and usually contain chemical binders and igniters. The problem with this is those chemical binders and igniters give the food a less authentic taste. On the other hand, all natural hardwood briquettes, you get the benefits of your lump charcoal because you don't have any chemical binders, and the benefits of having briquettes because it lasts longer. Another important lesson I learned is that lighter fluid is not only dangerous, gives the food a bad taste, but is unnecessary. All you need is a chimney starter, which is a metal cylinder that you pour the charcoal into and put newspaper underneath to get the coals burning red hot. In Weber's Way to Grill, written by James Pruvians, he recommends the following utensils, which are tongs, grilling spatulas, a basting brush, a small hand shovel, and a grilling mitt. According to the USDA, it's safe to bite when the temperature is right. For this reason, you will need a meat thermometer. The USDA states that beef prepared well done should be 170 degrees. For medium well, 160 degrees. Pork and chicken, on the other hand, need to be 160 degrees. Weber's Way to Grill also recommends you use a timer so that you don't do what most amateurs usually do, which is burn the food. Now that we have discussed the equipment that is required, let's talk about the fires, the two types of fires that are used. When you go on a journey, it's essential that your car runs properly and continues to burn through fuel at a proper rate. The same is true when grilling with charcoal. Once you have chosen your fuel source, you will need to determine what type of fire you need for the food you are preparing. Weber's Way to Grill states that there are two main types of fires, which is direct and indirect. An indirect fire is positioned directly underneath the food, whereas an indirect fire is placed opposite of food or formed as a ring around the food. To set up for a direct grilling, you must first place newspaper on the lower charcoal grate, place the chimney starter on top of the newspaper, fill the chimney starter at least 3/4 of the way, and then simply light the newspaper. It takes approximately 15 minutes for the coals to be ready for grilling. Once the charcoal is covered in ash and glowing with intense heat, carefully put on a grilling mitt, grab your hand shovel, and spread the coals in an even layer. You will use the same steps in setting up direct heat for setting up indirect heat, except where you will either place the coals to the opposite side of the food or formed as a ring around the food. It's important to evenly place the coals because uneven placement creates hot, medium, and cooler spots. According to grill master Stephen Rackellen, star of PBS's Primal Grill, a rule of thumb for determining the temperature of your grill when it's not equipped with a lid thermometer is to place your hand 5 inches above the grilling grate, and if you pull it away in 1/1000, 2/1000, the grill is hot. 5 to 7 seconds, it's medium. 8 to 10 seconds, it's low. Now that we've gathered the equipment needed for our adventure and learned how to build a proper fire, let's talk about the foods that can be grilled. As with any journey that we set out on for the first time or second, a handy guide with you will come, and a handy guide with you on your grilling adventure will help out a lot. I'm here to tell you from my own experience that if you could cook it on the stove or bake it in the oven, you can not only cook it on the grill, but greatly enhance the flavors within your meals. But do this with caution, because your family and friends might designate you as their grill master. Although the possibilities are endless, we're going to talk about your bare minimum basic foods that you find at your typical family barbecue. First, steak is a must, and according to Weber's Way to Grill, written by James Purviance, should be seared over direct high heat with the lid on and flipped only once. Use a meat thermometer to check for your desired doneness, keeping in mind the recommendations set forth by the USDA. Second, chicken legs and wings are also a barbecue staple, which require the use of direct medium heat to obtain the proper temperature of 160 degrees. The reason for this is you want to cook the chicken fully without burning the outside. Third, corn on the cob requires an outstanding taste when grilled. There are many methods to do this, but I'll tell you my method. First, soak the corn in cold water an hour before grilling. Second, place the corn with the husk on the grill. The absorbed water will steam the corn from the inside, while the burning husk will smoke the corn from the outside. You may be asking yourself, how can I use my grill as an oven? Well, I'm here to answer that question. Your grill, with the addition of a cast iron Dutch oven, will further enhance your grilling abilities by allowing you to roast meats, seafood, poultry, and vegetables. If you're really up to a challenge, you can even bake breads and desserts on your charcoal grill. As I have shown you, grilling over charcoal is an adventure that requires you to have the proper equipment, know the types of fires, and have an imagination, because anything that can be cooked on the stove or baked in the oven can be grilled. Good luck on your journey, and remember, if you're someone who lives for the adventure in life, then charcoal grilling is for you.